I still feel 25. But most of the time I feel, I'd say 35, 36, 37. Oh, I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Business Life 20 years doing the show today. And the committee, you know, I've talked about the committee. Well, the committee, I don't know, several months ago interviewed, 2 or 3 million people. And these two ladies, I don't know how many. Maybe they interviewed 10 people. I don't know how many people. These two ladies came up, the two nicest ladies in Southern California. They're with me today. My friend, Cindy Lazinski.
Hey, Coach.
Where's the cameras? A lot of cameras around here today.
I know. Mine's not working. That's
and Mary Tan.
Hello.
You two are fabulous, really.
Thank you.
I mean, one's in real estate. Cindy Lazinski, big real estate mogul. Has her own staff that she carries around. And she's got her car parked out here with the limo. And that must be nice, Andrew, right, to have a car pick you up, deliver you. Yeah. Got her staff. I mean, did you ever see that movie, Entourage? That's Cindy Lazinski, Andrew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Oh, wow.
Day in the life of Cindy Lazinski.
Yeah.
It may be all true, but just in my dreams.
Facebook star, too.
Yes.
Both of you have big Facebook. You're not doing your you can get close to your microphone now. You're not doing your Facebook as much as you used to.
You know, I took a little step back for a moment just to get my priorities going.
You lost so much weight running, it's affected your Facebook, right?
It has. It absolutely has. But now that spring is here, I'll be out in my garden and my yard and
the park. You don't call it the garden. It's
I know, Mark Park. My husband's name, Mark Park in Cindyville.
Is he listening?
He should be.
Mark, you're one of the two of you. You know, I had Mark. I think he's been on like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. The time is going.
Time's gone
I got to
by,
have
but
him
about
back.
2 years
How about
ago.
next week? You're hosting.
Actually, he's going to be performing at the Canyon Club at the Valencia Town Center.
When?
In I don't know the actual date, but check it out on Facebook or on the Canyon.
No, I'm serious. I have to
Theaters,
go. I'm serious.
I'm serious. You should be there.
You don't have a date?
I don't. I'm not here to plug my husband.
Great,
but, of course,
all right,
he's doing a show in Burbank as well on Sunday.
No, I'll go to the Canyon
But
Club.
the Canyon Club here in Valencia, he's going to be doing a show there once a month. A little comedy show, comedy event, followed by great music. Have you been to a show there lately? The new Canyon Club.
Yes.
Great venue. Great place for people in Santa Clarita to go
It really is. Well run, feels safe, the whole bit. Parking's easy, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's talk about you. Let's talk about Mary Tan. The first half of the show, we're just going to have some fun. The second half, we're going to get into a very important subject. That's charity. That's giving. You are a champion, and I'm going to save it. I don't want to give it away, but you did something that I've never done. I've always wanted to do. I've done charitable events, but nothing compared to what you've done, Cindy Lazinski.
You've been very charitable. You're charitable just having the two of us on this show today.
No,
Absolutely.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky having the two of you.
Well, that too.
All right, so let's start off. I got my hair dressed today, cut today, groomed today, and I was thinking driving over here, I spilled my guts to the hairdresser. I can't believe I did what I did. Thank God my wife and my daughter are shopping. They're not listening to the show. I always ask them, honey, do you ever listen to the show? She said, why would I listen to the show? You're the show at home. You know, I get you live in person. Anyway, she's not listening. I don't think any family member's listening. But so to the hairdresser, I said something about my son-in-law, and I thought, that just came out of my mouth? I know, wow.
You heard yourself say it?
Yeah. And now I'm going, oh, boy. Oh, boy. Now, do either one of you go to hairdressers?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
So can you get closer to the mic, please?
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Is that better for you?
This is not your first rodeo,
This
girl.
is not.
Okay, so what do you reveal? What do... That's Cindy Lazinski. You know you're being filmed a million
I am
different...
being filmed.
There's
Sorry,
the
you
camera,
see
right?
me.
You can lower your chair.
That's what it is my chair.
There you go.
You notice
There.
I'm not wearing a
Thank
hat
you.
today? I feel absolutely
I love it.
naked.
You look
I feel...
awesome.
You look great.
I love it. I love it.
hat.
Yep. So yes, we go to hairdressers. And we share secrets, but they have a code.
Yes.
The code of the hairdresser.
So they're,
The code of the hairdressers.
okay, so I'm Catholic. So when I went, I don't do it anymore, but when I went to confession, they keep everything in house, right?
Supposedly, yes.
Suppose they are, Mary Tan. So what?
Unless they're related to you.
I don't have any priests related to me.
Okay.
Okay, so have you said things to your hairdresser, Cindy Lizinski, that you would not? Yes, you have. I can tell.
Of course.
About
Christy, please hold all of my things that I've shared with you in secrecy.
what person? Now, Mark's listening. So, have you talked more about Mark to your hairdresser or other family members?
Actually, anything I've shared with my hairdresser, she probably could share with anybody.
Really? That's
I'm
why the committee voted you and Mary Tan the nicest people in Southern California.
Yeah.
Or about you, Mary?
I think that's really true. Like, if push came to shove, I think that I would agree with that statement. I never thought about that because I am really open with my hairdresser. I feel like hairdressers, and she tells me Melina's her name.
Melina.
Hey, Melina.
Is she listening?
Possibly.
Hey, Melina!
But I definitely tell her things that are just on my heart because you're on that chair for a while, especially for coloring and styling. It's going to take a while. And you're like chatting with the girlfriend. She's like, hey, what's going on in your life? And you just open up.
Is that your real hair color? Your hair?
Mine, I am not blonde. I'm Asian.
No, but that's not blonde.
Oh, it's more sun-kissed, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but
A
I like it.
sun-kissed?
Yeah.
To me, it's a beautiful, like, brown or something. Sun-kissed. That's what I need.
That's what they call it.
Sun-kiss. I need some names for my do. What,
No, you have the perfect hair.
chimney look? What do I? Chimney gray? Oh God! The show is called The Business Life. You can listen on KHTS hometown station 98.1. Best radio app. Did you tell your girlfriends to download the app?
I did. I finally figured out a way to forward the app to them.
It's a great
that's
app.
great.
Just go into the App Store and download KHTS 1220 AM. It's a great app. Okay, so what is on your mind today, Mary Tan? Something's bugging you, I can tell.
Really?
What's bugging you?
No.
Is your book selling in the millions?
In the millions. No, it just launched. It did hit #1 in 4 countries, so it's doing all right.
That's so funny. I knew that. How does it hit in 4 countries?
Well, I just go and I look at Amazon and I look at the rankings and it hit 4.
You're big on Facebook. And Cindy used to be. She's going to come back to it. But, so I
still
noticed.
am.
Yeah, you better come back.
I'm just watching right now, taking tips.
Yeah. Now, did you take the ads out on Facebook? Is that how? No. You
No.
can take ads out on your book.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
Empowered Child.
I just had an amazing book coach that,
Really?
yeah, she's amazing.
A local lady?
No, she's in Virginia.
Oh, the lady on your video?
Yeah.
Yeah, your video's
Angela.
cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
So nothing's bugging you today?
No, things
On a
don't really-
Tuesday?
No.
73 degrees?
And even if things did bug me, I would just go into my arsenal of tools and just transform it.
Really?
That's the best way to approach it.
Right? I mean,
But if you two could bottle your niceness, I could sell it for you. Really,
Yeah.
I could sell it.
Yeah.
We take your 2 nicest stuff, put it in. So, what are your tools? Give me just one tool.
well, but the niceness, though, doesn't come from just like, okay, you could be born with it, but then you go through life and you go through these challenges and you don't just stay nice. I think it takes the arsenal of tools to authentically be nice. So what would be a tool? Well, I think the greatest tool is just simply being aware of who you're showing up in every single moment,
That's so true.
right? I didn't say it was easy,
Right.
but eventually it does become a lifestyle just as easy as breathing. But in the beginning, right, Cindy?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And the other aspect of it, too, is you can't take niceness as a weakness. It doesn't mean you're weak because you have to be strong to be able to go into your arsenal of figuring out a way to overcome whatever challenges that you're experiencing so that you can stay positive, optimistic, and move forward through the storm.
Powerfully, right?
Yeah.
No, it's interesting. Cindy's very, very successful realtor. What's the name of your agency?
Cindy Lizinski and associates at John Hart Real Estate.
How
We're
come
at
you
the
never
town center.
John Hart Real Estate?
John Hart Real Estate.
You never, Lizinski, I still can't spell it. but it seems to me you could have gone Cindy somethings.
Well,
Cindy Smith,
when you
Cindy
get married
Jones.
and you're a traditional woman and you take your husband's last name, I
What
got
rhymes?
Lazinski.
Something with a C. Cindy Caldwell. No, something easy.
No,
No.
just
okay,
my name.
Back to being
It is
nice.
who I am.
All right, fine. You're authentic. That's what I love about you. So back to being nice, because I was thinking about it. What nice does is it affects other people. Mm-hmm. And if you're listening to my voice and you're at work or you're driving to work or you're driving back from lunch, look, being nice takes about 1 second to, change your mind to smile. Both of you smile. Mm-hmm. So give me back to that. You didn't still give us the number one tool.
That was the number one tool, was to be aware of who you're showing up as. If you want an actual
Awareness.
tool, now that doesn't sound like a tool. It's a practice that you do every single day. Like I meditate every morning, and ideally also right before bed. You want to do that so that you can be aware of who you're showing up in your mind and then physically, right? It starts here in your head. And but if you want an actual tool, that sounds more like a tool. I would say, just like what you were saying about smiling, you could use your physiology to impact your internal environment. So how your emotions are feeling, you could absolutely stand up tall, put your shoulders back, chin up, smile like you mean it, and you'll feel good.
Andrew, are you listening to this? I mean, really, these two ladies can change your life. You know, you have a nice smile.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So when you smile, it immediately affects the observer. Immediately. If they're not smiling, they start smiling.
Right.
Yeah. Now, Cindy, when you walk into Starbucks, the only person I ever met gets a standing ovation. So what are you doing? Give me your tools.
Exactly what she just said. It's all about posturing and how you carry yourself and how you present yourself. And that smile is one of the first most important things. And thankfully, early on in my life, I learned that I can either be miserable and have my problems and issues, or I can be happy and have my problems and issues. So I choose to be happy with them and be able to force myself to smile through it, because I find that helps me attack whatever is trying to bring me down, which is very challenging for a lot of people. A lot of people that suffer from mental health illness and issues may have that challenge of being able to put that smile on and push through and be able to handle whatever ails them. But thankfully, I've trained myself to push through that and allow happiness to carry me through whatever challenges I encounter.
Well said. That's Cindy Lazinski. Mary Tan's with us today, and the show is called The Business Life. So I do business coaching, and I tell my clients all the time, be positive, act positive, do positive. And if you do this, and I think you guys do, both of you probably do the same thing. You meditate, and I think Cindy meditates by running, right?
I do, which is something I newly found. When you and I first met, I was never a runner. Anybody asked me if I was a runner? No way. So it's something that I recently have fallen upon, and I call myself the accidental runner.
It's amazing. I saw a picture of you. In fact, I think I showed the guys at the poker thing where you were in that big hat.
Right, yes.
And I didn't recognize you. And now I know why. You've lost 25 pounds through running. But you're blessed.
I did change diet, too.
Oh, you did?
But, I'm a former athlete. I was an athlete in high school, an athlete in college.
You're never a former athlete. You're always an athlete.
And so my point of that is that I got out of athletics for a certain time period and recently got back into it, and my body just responded very well. So I feel very blessed. But I did also completely change my eating habits and drinking habits, and hence the reason why I kind of stopped going to Starbucks for a while, because my chai tea latte grande every day has helped add to the weight gain. So that's, part of my philosophy with making my changes and being committed to making my changes. But it was kind of all accidental. I had a coaching call at 5:30 in the morning, and I was being respectful to my husband and didn't want him to get up that early, so I'd throw my tennis shoes on and go for a walk. Then I'd call my mom and have some family time with my mom who lives in Pennsylvania. Then I started listening to various podcasts and audiobooks that all have to do with positive affirmations and being the best you. And all of a sudden, I'm running an hour and a half in the morning. Enjoyed it, started running more, and 3 months into it, I ran the Santa Clarita half marathon and did really well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing story, but she's skipped over a lot of things. And I want to get into this a little bit, because if you're listening to the show, you can change your life in literally a few seconds by deciding you're going to get nice, like these two ladies. But if you want to lose weight, want to get healthier, so Cindy comes into Starbucks last August, and she announces to all the guys, I won't see you for a while. I'm going to start walking, and early.
Yes.
And
yes.
So how do you go from walking to running? There has to be a progression. Do you start jogging first?
Well, I started liking the distance that I was going, and with liking the distance, I have other commitments. I'm a busy realtor. I'm busy with doing a lot of other things, including charity work with like St. Jude Children's Hospital, and with trying to figure out. Wait a minute, I'm going this far for an hour and a half, but I'm not feeling challenged, and let me just try running a little. Then I had some encouragement from my niece who said she'd fly in from Pittsburgh if I ran the half marathon.
One day you're walking, all of a sudden you decide to jog. What happens?
If you're running like 5 minutes late and you have to be in the shower, you run that last half mile because you're on a time schedule. You're a busy business person. You've got to stay on your time schedule. So I would be thinking, I got to get home by this time, so I better speed up my walk. I better increase, and I better run this last bit because I have to be in the shower by X to be able to be at the office by 8 o'clock or a meeting wherever I'm heading to.
So I'm not allowed to say you have a Miss California physique. Can't say that, so I'm not saying it. But how has exercising changed your life? Seriously.
I just have an increased amount of energy, and also it's amazing what I get back from inspiring other people that have seen my journey. That was, again, very accidental, but as I started seeing the progress and seeing that I was losing weight, other people were coming to me and asking for advice on how do you start to run? What do you do? What are you doing with your diet? And I have helped at least 5 people at this point lose a significant amount of weight, to the point that I'm starting to think, wait, I'm a realtor. I'm not a health coach. I'm a realtor.
I know,
but I love to help people.
But you're a leader, girl.
I'm a leader.
This is something that I thought this morning. I thought to myself, when people just be the best version of themselves all the time, they automatically are inspirations to people all around them. And here you are. Like, I literally had that thought in my mind this morning, and you are proof of that.
And that's what you aim for. Is for myself, I aim to just be my best self. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it the best that I can do. And I determine whether I'm going to proceed ahead with whatever new goals that I have. And being able to inspire people by doing that is really the best gift back to me. Sure, being a smaller size in clothes is fantastic.
Yeah, what'd you do? What happened to your wardrobe? Because you had a beautiful wardrobe.
Well, it
is still in the closet?
Quite expensive to lose weight, because I did have to buy an entire new wardrobe.
I figured, yeah.
And so if anybody, has some clothes they want to hand me down, I would love that.
You're 7 years old in dog years, and you're sitting next to a puppy. You realize that? Mary Tan's like a little puppy.
She's a little puppy.
She's a little puppy. So
Are you saying I'm a senior citizen?
No, I
said. He just wants you to pet me.
I said. It's a family show, Andrew.
That's part of it. I'm approaching my senior years.
No, you're not.
And when I realized I had been gaining 5 pounds every year, I just wanted to stop gaining 5 pounds a year, because I said when I turn 60, I'm going to be 160.
Well, give us the diet real quick before we run out of time. So what the running I get, because you're burning up probably a couple of thousand calories, which is awesome. But
right.
Give me your morning, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner.
Well, I never knew I'd be one of those shake people, but I did join up with a program called Isogenics where I drink 2 shakes a day and have a great meal a day. And I still do that because typically I was somebody who skipped meals. And by skipping meals, I actually gained weight.
Wow.
So by actually eating more frequently and eating healthy, along with my exercise, I've been successful at that. I didn't know we were going to be talking about my health and weight on this segment.
All right, we're done with your health and weight. We're going to come back and have a more serious conversation about something that's important to all of us, and that's giving. Charity is the one gift that you actually give to yourself. When you can actually put somebody else ahead of you, somebody that's in need, somebody that is struggling, you know what? You're the winner. The other person, obviously, or the organization appreciates everything that you do, but at the end of the day, you wind up winning. So we're going to talk to a couple ladies that are extremely charitable, and one lady raised close to $700,000. I'm so curious. I want to find out how she did. We'll be right back. The Business Life on award-winning KHTS, 1220 AM and 98.1.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top-quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
Visiting Angels is looking for quality caregivers and companions to join our growing team of compassionate, caring people providing care and assistance to Santa Clarita seniors. Our Angels help seniors with activities such as meal preparation, light housekeeping, personal care, and running errands. Visiting Angels takes pride in offering competitive wages, benefits, paid training, and flexible schedules. We have clients throughout Santa Clarita so you can work close to home. Details at visitingangels.com/Santa Clarita.
America's choice in home care.
Marston's Restaurant has been a Pasadena landmark, voted the best breakfast in California by the Food Network magazine. Discover Marston's Santa Clarita location, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Marston's also has a fantastic catering menu that adds a delicious twist to any event. And they cater picnic dinners for that memorable romantic date. Experience Marston's on Newhall Ranch Road and McBean, or log on to marstonsrestaurant.com.
Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Now FM 98.1 FM and AM 1220. Your hometown station.
Welcome back. 98.1 FM, 1220 AM, KHTS award-winning. So glad you tuned in to my Facebook Live. So I have two of my favorite people here.
Yes.
Mary Tan, that's Mary Tan. This is Cindy Lazinski.
Hey, everybody.
These two ladies won. Well, the committee. Now, I had nothing to do with it. The committee, they tied. They tied for the two nicest ladies in Southern California. Tied. I don't know how many votes they got. Millions, 5 votes. I don't know. Somewhere between 5 votes and 1 million votes. Thank you, Andrew. So, serious subject, giving, charity. It's healthy to give. Ellen and I, we don't write a check. They take it out of our account. But we, every month, give to St. Jude's, Cindy Lazinski.
That is amazing, and I'm so happy to hear that. I just toured St. Jude Children's Hospital in Memphis. And
was it emotional?
It was emotional. It was a great experience. It really just brought me to yet another level of wanting to help with St. Jude Children's Hospital and help fundraise even more. And there's a common thread in my world of becoming the accidental something. But I accidentally became a volunteer for the Robbie Krieger, Scott Medlock golf concert event that's held every year. And this past year, we had our 10th year at this event. And the charity,
always in August?
It's actually going to be in October this year.
Oh, I want in.
And it's in North Park Country Club.
North Ranch.
That's
all right. That's
Thank
fine.
You. Glad you're familiar with
Mary
it.
Tan, Cindy Lazinski, thank you for tuning in to Facebook. If you have something better to do, do it. but you can keep watching.
There's never anything better than listening to us.
That's correct.
So let's talk a little bit about St. Jude's, the most amazing organization in the world, because if you have cancer, now you know they're doing diabetes research. Are you aware of that?
I wasn't aware of that,
Yeah, diabetes
actually.
research. So if you're not familiar with St. Jude's, if you have a child that is in need of care, they don't charge you a nickel.
Not a nickel, not even a penny.
And they'll put your family up.
Yes, their facilities are just absolutely amazing, where they have on-campus housing, whether it's housing that's just needed for a week, or if you need to be there for a month or 2 months, whatever length of time is needed. They will fly the family there. They will house them, provide all the care and all the follow-up care, and not a dime is charged to the family. They want the family to be able to take care of their child, be there for the child, and not have money be a factor in that care.
And if it's 10, I know both of us sound like commercial for St. Jude, but the issue is not St. Jude as much it is about giving. Yes. Even if you start with, I know it sounds ridiculous, $5 a month to some organization in your community, $10 a month, whatever you can possibly afford, you will get more out of it than the person receiving. Trust me.
Absolutely.
And it starts, Mary, and you know this, it starts a process of understanding how important giving is. When you agree to that, you're a big giver.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. And it's not even just money. It's money, of course, in this situation, because in this world, when your child is really sick, you need money to pay for the physicians. But it starts even before that. It doesn't have to just be money. If you want to go to the soup kitchen and donate your time, but donating something, tithing, regularly, on a regular basis, is part of the law of giving and receiving. It's a real thing. Yeah. And you can't do it from the sense of like, I'm giving in order to receive, but you got to understand the ebb and flow of how energy goes out and comes back. Even if you want to talk about love, you got to give love to receive love. And whatever you give, you get to keep. You first have to have it and keep it before you can give it.
And that's so beautiful. I mean, so well said. The energy, Cindy, and I said it in the first block of the show, that both of you give off such great karma. That's why you're loved by everybody. But back to fundraising, back to giving, back to St. Jude's. How do you raise almost $700,000?
You know, just absolutely amazing. Scotty and Robbie are just incredible guys that they wanted to do something to make a difference. And they're super involved in, of course, the entertainment world with Robbie as, you know, Robbie Krieger from The Doors and Scotty as one of the PGA artists. They just pulled it together, pulled a lot of their friends together. The first year it was just more about like pulling people together to have a good time and just give back. And gradually that just grew and grew. For the 10th year, we received up to almost $700,000.
This year I'm coming. I want to write a check. I want to play golf. You got to give us the date. I'll have you.
I want to know. My husband's a big time golfer.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we love to give back as well.
They put foursomes. So Adrian and I. Okay, let's do that. We'll get Adrian and I and a couple of other guys, and we'll go play in our tournament. You know,
that would be perfect.
October's
It's in October, and we're really planning for big things this year, especially after going to Memphis and touring the facilities there, seeing what they do with the funds that we raise. It just inspired us all the more to see what more we can do to raise funds for them.
And you're too young. You were in diapers, but Danny Thomas and Marlo Thomas. Wow. I mean, Danny's been...
It took one. With you saying Danny's name, the main thing that I took away from that event was it took one person to make such a difference in the world of people that are experiencing issues with their children's health. One person that stood up and said, this is something that I want to do to make a difference, to make sure that every child that's suffering from something, that they can get the necessary care despite whatever financial situation that their family is in. So from that, I like to challenge everyone, and challenging both of you.
We're in. We're in.
What is
Super
the
in.
one thing that you can do that makes a difference? And sometimes it is just the simplest of showing up at a soup kitchen and being there and serving the soup. There's been times where I've been down and out near financial bankruptcy, and I still was in a place of giving because I know what that brings back.
And
And
just
that it
like
helps
Mary said,
empower.
it's now come around to you. So you watching this on Facebook and YouTube, one person can make a difference. If you are at any point in your life, just what Cindy said, if you're struggling, you want to get out of your struggles, go and help somebody else. Trust me, if you're not laying in a hospital bed, go help somebody else. All right.
One quick thing that people can also do, too, if they are successful, and since this is a business talk show and everything, if you have business listeners, there are a lot of charities that do various things that you can donate things from your business. We got donuts donated from Dunkin' Donuts. We get coffee from Starbucks. But there
I'll
are
donate
other,
golf balls.
There are
Used
other
golf
things.
balls.
Used golf balls.
But it's
that
not,
landed in
Cindy
the water.
Lazinski, it's not a business show. It's called The Business of Life. It's just we
Business
talk
of
about life.
Yes.
Like your life.
But the business of life is giving, and if in your life you own a business that you have something that you can donate, whether it's to the charity I'm involved in or either of you are involved in, they can call up and say, Coach, I want to donate some things for this charity so that you can have this in the auction.
And if you want to donate 4 tickets for me to go to the Masters, that's fine with me. All right, St. Jude's, unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. But any charity in your community or doing anything to help somebody else. So, Mary Tan, you're active. You just finished your book, Empowering Children.
Yeah.
And are you going to send your kids to college? Is college part of what you want to do?
You know what?
Or send them to my baseball camp?
Both.
Okay.
I went to New York University, so that was a
You
pretty
did?
good school.
NYU?
Yeah.
So did my mommy.
Oh, awesome. So did my older brother.
It's very prestigious. People don't realize on the West Coast it's a very prestigious school.
Yeah.
How'd you get in with your grades?
They were so good. They were like, please, can we have her? And so although I went to a really prestigious school.
Legacy school.
I believe education is so important. People all over the world that don't have American privilege are fighting for education all the time. So I want my children to have that education, that opportunity. At the same time, I learned most of my life skills and empowerment tools and transformational tools after university.
After
university.
Can I challenge you for a second?
Yes.
Is it knowledge that we need?
It's wisdom.
Oh, yeah, well, wisdom comes, girl, when you get some gray in your hair, okay? You're just a little puppy, remember? Remember you're a puppy?
That's why I go to my hairdresser.
Me
The
too.
grays.
Well, you want to know something? It doesn't matter how old you are. My 5-year-old, you're talking to like a 99-year-old. She's so wise. She's an old soul. And so that's why I opened the Light Warrior School, to keep that pathway of wisdom open and not to put them through the system that's going to teach them to forget who they really are. Yeah.
Okay, so let me get and Cindy, join in here, don't because of your background. You started off as a social worker in
I did.
Ohio.
I was a social worker primarily with foster children.
And I was a foster kid, as you know.
Yes.
But
Yep.
back to education versus knowledge. So I'm a big believer that knowledge is critical. And I'm one of these guys that believes, and your assistant's here, and Kendall is, you're mentoring her.
Yes.
So she is actually, if you just mentored her for a year, she would learn more about life, learn more about real estate, learn more about human behavior, learn more about how to conduct herself in business than going to 4 years in college. Now, I think most people are not qualified or should go to college.
You know, I have a lot of very firm, I'm speechless because I agree with you.
Oh, my God, the first time ever. Andrew, record this date. Get this date.
I don't know how to admit it, but I do agree with you because, I mean, you look at people that are successful in life, and there's 50% that are successful because of college, because of the education that they got in a system, where the other 50% of people that are successful in life and in business are successful because of their life experiences and because they found great mentors to train them and guide them. And either way, those people that are successful are great students. It just means that one student learns better in a school system and the other student learns better through mentoring.
That is that's wisdom, Mary Tan.
That is wisdom.
That is
I told you I got to learn from your wisdom.
That is unbelievable wisdom. I'm curious about both of you. I know both your husbands. How did you, both of you are smart, brilliant, successful, innovative. I can go on with all the adjectives. You were voted by the committee as the two nicest ladies. But how did you decide? You both married right. I'm not going to say over your head because you're both raising your husbands. But how did you go about selecting your husband? What was that about? Was that a chore?
Well, no, but...
And you've been married a long time.
I have.
The little puppy's only going on, 11 years so?
Of what, marriage?
Yeah.
We met in 2010, yeah.
Is that 11? No. 8.
8 years.
You've only been married
8
years?
We weren't even married right away. We don't even know. We just counted from the beginning. We met in 2010. So, yeah, 8 years, but...
Let's go with it.
Well, our souls have been together for so many lifetimes. Really, it's not about time. Truly.
So 8 times 4 would be
None
32.
Of your business. Yeah.
Is that how long? I think I've been with my husband for 32 years.
Yes, that sounds about right. Oh.
Yes, we've been married for 28 years.
Wow.
Crazy.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
And it's funny, when we became empty nesters, which you'll have to hear his new song he just wrote. It's called the Empty Nester Song, and it is fan-freaking-tastic.
Mark, if you're listening, call in 298-5487. Mark Eddy, if you're listening, 298-5487. You can sing your song to thousands of people in Southern California.
So we became empty nesters, and that's often a turning point in people's lives of like, oh, who the heck are you? And like, we don't need to be together anymore. But I turned to him and I looked at him and I said, oh my God, what are we going to do? And he's like, what are you meaning? And I go, what are we going to do? We're alone now, and I still like you, and I want to make sure that we're still together. So we make sure that we do fun, good things together.
But come on, what about Mark? There has to be, come on, give me the ingredients. We're trying to bottle this stuff.
Well,
so you know what the divorce rate is?
You know the simplest denominator? I have broken it down to the simplest thing in relationship. You gotta like each other. You gotta, instead of focusing on, oh, he didn't put the toothpaste lid on or put the toilet seat down or loses his wallet every other day, you gotta say, he doesn't lose his wallet every other day. He puts the toilet seat down half. Look at it in a positive way. Don't focus on the negative things that you don't like about the person, because all of a sudden, after years of saying all the things you constantly don't like, you won't like them. But focus on the simplest things that you do like about the person and truly like them. And with that, you won't remember those things.
I agree 100%.
Thank you for your tip. I love that.
Yeah. Now, do you try to change Adrian?
Not at all. And, I got lucky because, I think fortunate. We're both fortunate. We both took our time and waited for the person that we wanted. We didn't want to lose our integrity just to go for someone because of the ticking clock. Like, that makes no sense. So we waited. And my criteria was I needed someone who was as devoted to their self-development, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, just like I was, because I devoted so many years into my becoming my best self in every moment. I needed a partner who was going to run with me.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
So that's who I got, someone who really cares about working on themselves because he wants to be his best self all the time. And how much fun do we get to have? Amazing fun all the time. And then we get to raise 2 little kids with that mentality.
Now, you're going to start a show here pretty soon, the Mary Tan Show, which will be, I think, are we going Thursday mornings at 10?
I believe so. It's not confirmed, so we got to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Mary Tan Show. So, what are you going to talk about in your show?
You know, I just wrote a book called The Empowered Child. It's all about raising conscious, confident, and connected children. And by the way,
conscious, confident, and
connected.
Wow. How about raising an adult like that?
You want to know something? It's also for the adult. The work that I've done with women for over 10 years, coaching women and teaching them empowerment tools, was all about healing the inner child. Right. So I was like, why don't I just give it to the kids early? And so the show, the Mary Tan Show on Thursday mornings, is going to be about the topic of how do we heal our inner child? How do we become that person that can raise an empowered child? It's not about, hey, do as I say. That we know that doesn't work anymore. Look at the world. It's about who do I have to show up as in order to raise that child? Okay, let's change topics. I want to meet that amazing man. I want to meet the man of my life, the woman of my life. Well, how do you do that? Who do I have to be? Who do I have to show up as in order to attract that partner? Yep. It's the same thing. All of life is the same thing, and that's the business of life, Coach.
The business of life. That's right. Cheap plug every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and these two ladies voted by the committee as the two nicest ladies in Southern California. Now, question, because you just said something that touched me. So healing from the inside out. So we all tend to be, especially those of us that are in business and have, like Cindy and you, have achieved a lot of success. We tend to beat ourselves up. We tend to be so self-critical. Are either one of you or both of you self-critical?
Well, I know that I am a recovered perfectionist. I really cared so much about looking perfect, being perfect, not making mistakes, and then beating myself up in the corner in the dark by myself, like horrible. Yes. Why? Nobody even cares. Yep. And so now I reach for excellence. Like that little tweak, it looks the same to the people on the outside, but the internal experience is night and day.
I love the way she answered that. That's great.
That's why she has her own radio show, and you need to have your show.
Yes.
So how, do you beat yourself up?
I used to, but then I gradually worked my way through that. And in the past, I used to walk into a room and wonder, do they like me? Do they like me? Now I walk into the room and say, do I like them?
You get standing applause at Starbucks. Do they like you? That's not fair.
And now the ending of your story was now you walk in and you ask yourself, do I like them?
Right.
I love that.
It's like, do they like me? But now it's like, do I like them? Does it matter? Is it going to change my world whether they like me or not? Mm-hmm. What's important is you need to like yourself and be empowered from within. And as long as I'm working on being the best self, then I can work through most everything with ease. So,
can you both come back next week? Man, we need to keep this conversation going because,
I think this is a great trio.
Yeah.
The healing, and this goes, Cindy, you and I have had some really nice conversations. Healing is not easy.
It is not easy.
And all of us have, except the little puppy here, all of us have baggage. And if we don't, maybe next week when the three of us come back, we should talk about how to deal with your baggage, how to deal with healing, because Mary's background is a little different than most of us. She knows how to meditate. And when you look at her book, Empowering the Child, what you said a few minutes ago about healing from the inside out, if we don't start with ourselves, we're just kidding ourselves, right?
So true.
All right, next Tuesday at 1 o'clock, the ladies will be back on the business of life. I'll see you Friday on my sports show. Yeah, all right, we're done. Bye.
Why do people from all over Santa Clarita come to our spa in Canyon Country? Simple. They want the highest quality services at prices that everyone can afford. This is Rosemary from Beyond Harmony Med Spa. Read our reviews and know why we won the Ultimate Beauty Awards 2 years in a row by the readers of Elite Magazine. Come and see how close we really are and experience the level of excellence that our clients have loved for the past 13 years. Go to beyondharmony.com or call 298-8008 today for a free consultation.
Looking for a new fun activity for your son or daughter? If you are, then visit Ice Station Valencia and get your child started in ice skating. The Ice Station Skating Academy offers classes for all ages and skill levels. A Skating Academy enrollment is also a great gift for any child. A new semester starts every 2 months, so it's never too late to sign up. Ice Station is located across the street from Valencia High School. Call 775-8686 or check icestation.net for more ice skating fun.
Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Now FM, 98.1 FM, and AM 1220. Your hometown station.
Welcome back. Show's called The Business Life. I'm Coach Ron Tunick. I'm a business coach. I've been doing the show Business Life for 20 years. I started years ago, raised in Ventura County, Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, Ventura. Went to grammar school in Port Hueneme, and foster kid, a tough start in life. And I decided, as Mary and Cindy had shared with you earlier in the show, that even I can remember, ladies, at, I'm going to say 14, that I wanted a different life for myself. That I was in these foster homes, and some of them were okay. One in particular was okay. The other ones were kind of rough. I don't want to get into it, but Cindy, you know more about this. Maybe we'll pick it up next week. But it took me a long time to heal. Took me a long time to get the chip off my shoulder.
It takes time.
Yeah,
it takes time.
It took me a while.
Yep.
And
it's important to recognize, though, when you realize that early on in life you knew that you wanted a better life for yourself.
Yes, I did.
And it may have taken 10, 20, 30 years for you to really focus through and realize that, you know what, I'm in control of this life that I have, and I can heal and I can move through this differently.
And I know this may offend some people, but even as a young man, I believed in God. And I knew that I need to get out of my circumstances and that God was going to help me. So I to this day, I pray 30 times a day. I give God credit for everything. And I know that's hard for people who don't believe in God to hear me say things like that.
I do. I give credit 1,000% to God.
Yeah,
Source.
good for you.
Yeah.
And if you don't, that's fine. I mean, but the point is...
The thing that shouldn't be argued with at all, if it's by you finding your beliefs in God that helped you through, that's what worked for you.
Right.
For other people that may not have that same belief system of God, they need to find something that brings them around to help them work through things. So
Yes.
everybody's path to finding that peace and tranquility in life is different.
We can't do it by ourselves. Would you
That's
agree
for
with
sure.
that, both of you?
Yeah, I agree. And what I loved about what Cindy said just a moment ago was that we're all leaders. If we all just realize that we have that power to create and design and be the director of our own movie in life, that's where it begins.
I believe that we all have true greatness inside of us. The challenge, and we were talking about education versus knowledge a few minutes ago, the challenge is if you don't seek out a mentor, you're mentoring young children. So,
and moms.
boy, are those the Warrior School? What's the Light
It's
Warrior?
the Light Warrior School for kids, and then I also have a mentorship program for the parents.
But those parents are lucky. I'm telling you, did any of them listen to the show? They're lucky. And anybody being around Cindy is lucky, too, because you're always talking. You're never preaching, but you're always talking about things where people go, that's interesting. Maybe I'll try that, So both of you, I'm so blessed to have you in my life. But I wanted to say this, that everybody has greatness inside of them. Finding your purpose, finding that greatness, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to seek out a Mary Tan or a Cindy Lazinski. You're a realtor in town, so you're easy to find.
Easy to find.
Easy to find. And if
you need to find me, though, you can check out me on cindylazinski.com or on Zillow. And I have a lot of great reviews on Zillow. Because of the way that I help my clients on a regular basis, they're often quick to give me the reviews and share what their experience was.
You're amazing.
Because anybody can say anything, but really, once you read it on there, you'll get the feel of what kind of person I am.
Andrew, 3 years ago, I'm in Starbucks. I'm not going to give you his name, but a pretty dear friend of mine is complaining about his realtor, and he can't sell the house, and the realtor's telling him, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I whispered in his ear. I actually whispered, I said, why don't you talk to Cindy? Cindy can sell your house. And sure enough, he contacted her, sold his house in about 3 weeks after he hired you.
Yes.
So
he had it on the market for 3 months with the other
complaining to me every day about his realtor. All right. So the point is, if you're listening, find somebody that's been to the mountaintop, right? And ask for help. Because climbing up your mountain is not easy. And you don't climb straight up, do you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope. And very often people that have had those life experiences and whatever it is you desire to do, especially those that have, grown through over years, they're willing to share information and help people. They typically like to help people, bring them up in the ranks of things, just like myself mentoring other realtors. Who would they be better to be mentored by? Somebody that has only been in the business 2 years and is struggling and having financial woes, somebody that's been in it, 6 to 8 years that may be doing okay and everything, but still is finding their path, or somebody like myself who's been in it for 16 years and has experienced the highs and lows and the difficulties, but the strengths, and has created a great business.
Here's the other end of that. So on one end, you want to find a mentor who's a master. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, exactly.
The other end is, how do you prepare yourself to be ready to have a master show up in your life, right? And they say, you always hear this, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Well, guess what? I came out of the studio one day, and who do I meet? I meet Coach Ron Tunick sitting down in the lobby, and we got connected because clearly I was ready. I didn't realize I was ready, and my teacher, my mentor showed up.
Well, that goes back to your original, the first segment of being aware and being able to, notice those situations. Because if you weren't an aware person, you would not have even seen him. So that awareness is really key.
And both of you are the lighthouses in people's lives. I was thinking about that driving to the station today. Both of you are the lighthouses in people's lives. And when you can do that, man, oh man, it is... You have achieved your purpose in life.
I always have my light on.
Me too.
Isn't
That's
that
my
cool?
purpose. My mission is to turn up that light.
And you
in
both
everyone.
have your light on, yeah.
You too, Coach.
Yeah, yeah. I want to finish. What do you think? Not wearing a hat, seriously.
I love it. I love it.
Really?
You
Without
look
the
so
hat?
Great. I love it.
Okay.
I like it when, and I know you have to wear the shades, but I do like to see your eyes every once in a while too. But
sensitivity to light.
Yes.
So I'm growing this glaucoma. So I have to wear the glasses.
Yep.
I'm trying to put this whole thing off. This is 40 years of golf.
Yep.
Being in the sunshine.
Without protection.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I used to wear... Did I wear sunglasses? No.
No.
You're right. I did not.
I like the look.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking
we're gonna keep
it sharp, right?
We're gonna keep the hat off. Thursday at 2 is Charlene Gill, her beautiful show at home with Charlene, and then Friday my sports show at 1 o'clock. Lots to get into this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Lots going on. My gut yesterday said, take Michigan because they're yeah. So all right.
Thank you so much for having me.
See you next week. You guys are coming back. We're going to talk about healing.
Sounds great.
How to get past where
Good
you
topic,
are.
yeah.
All right.
And remember, St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Amen.